They thought you'd break, thought you'd shatter like glass under pressure. What they failed to realize was that crossing you was their greatest and final mistake. It's ironic, isn't it? How they dismissed you, labeled you as damaged goods, a casualty in their petty schemes. To them, you were fragile, forgettable, but oh, how wrong they were. They didn't understand that every blow, every scar, every ounce of pain wasn't breaking you, it was forging something unrelenting, something terrifying. Pain isn't your weakness, it's your blueprint. Every scar is a story, every wound a lesson, and together they chart a path not to surrender but to chaos. The chaos they unleashed but never prepared for. They thought they could extinguish your fire. But fires don't just die, do they? Sometimes they spread, consuming everything in their wake. And now they're left to live with the aftermath of their arrogance. Here's the irony: the harder they tried to crush you, the stronger you became. The quieter you grew, the louder your reckoning roared. Did they realize what they were waking when they crossed you? Or were they foolish enough to believe you'd quietly crumble? Either way, it's too late now. The beauty of being underestimated is that it gives you the space to grow unstoppable. Betrayal, it cuts deeper than any knife, doesn't it? It leaves wounds unseen but felt every single day. And while they played their games, lying, cheating, and backstabbing with ease, they revealed their own weakness: fear. Fear of what you could achieve, of the power you'd uncover, of the truth you'd expose. There's always that pivotal moment, isn't there? That flicker in the darkness, when the pain stops consuming you and instead fuels you. Maybe it was the night you stared into the mirror, tears streaming down, and vowed, never again. Or perhaps it was when you hit rock bottom and realized this wasn't your ending, it was your beginning. That moment, that shift, is like a match striking in a void. A spark at first, but it grows, catches, and burns into a wildfire they never saw coming. They assumed your silence meant defeat. Let them think that. Silence isn't surrender, it's strategy. The uncertainty of your silence is louder than any scream, a weapon sharper than any blade. While they celebrate their imagined victory, you're calculating, rebuilding, and preparing to strike when they least expect it. True revenge isn't loud or reckless, it's calculated, an art form. It's not about acting in the heat of the moment, but building something unstoppable while they're too blind to notice. Picture them sitting smugly, thinking they've won, oblivious to the empire you're constructing brick by brick. The ultimate revenge isn't destruction, it's success. The kind of success that blinds, that forces them to confront what they tried to destroy but only strengthened. They didn't cross you because they thought you were weak. No, they crossed you because your light, your potential, terrified them. And their betrayal? That wasn't your end, it was your ignition. Anger, like molten steel, reforged you. Pain chiseled away the doubt, fear and lies, revealing something unbreakable. You're no longer a drizzle they can ignore, you're a storm, a hurricane of force and purpose. They thought they'd move on, brushing off their actions as trivial, but deep down they know the truth. Every time your name is mentioned, every time they see your face or hear of your triumphs, it's a slap in the face. You've become the shadow they can't escape, the ghost that haunts their sleepless nights. They'll lay awake, staring at ceilings, knowing they lost. The betrayal they thought would crush you has turned you into a symbol of resilience, of power, of everything they feared but couldn't defeat. So what will you do with this fire? Let it die out, leaving only ashes, or fan the flames and turn it into something inescapable? Don't waste energy on petty retaliation, focus on building an empire that stands as a monument to your strength. Stop looking back. Stop trying to prove anything to anyone. Your victories speak louder than words, each one a dagger in the hearts of those who doubted you. They tried to bury you, but they didn't know you were a seed. Now, you're a towering force they can't comprehend. Here's the truth they'll carry forever: you didn't just survive their betrayal, you thrived because of it. You've become everything they feared you'd be and more. Let them wallow in their regret while you rise higher, burn brighter, and achieve everything they said you couldn't. Betrayal doesn't just scar you, it carves a legacy in them, a constant reminder of the force they awakened. So rise, thrive, conquer, and let them choke on the ashes of their own mistakes. This is your time, and they'll wish, with every fiber of their being, that they never crossed you. But here's the thing about people who try to bury you: they never dig deep enough. They think a little dirt will keep you down, that a few harsh words, a couple of setbacks, and a well-placed betrayal will be enough to finish you. They don't realize seeds grow in the dark. Roots dig deeper when they're forced underground. And while they were so busy tossing dirt on your name, you were quietly becoming something they can't uproot. They thought you'd stay buried, but now you're the forest they can't cut down. Every branch, every leaf, every inch of you is a testament to everything they tried to destroy but couldn't dot. They'll never admit it, of course. Pride is a stubborn thing. They'll call it coincidence. They'll say you got lucky. They'll rewrite the story, twist the timeline, and tell people they always saw your potential. But deep down, they know the truth. It wasn't luck. It wasn't timing. It wasn't chance. It was you. It was every choice you made after the storm hit. It was every night you stayed up wrestling with doubt but chose to push forward anyway. It was every bruise, every scar, every lesson learned the hard way. That's what built you. That's what they underestimated. See people like them? They're loud. They want you to hear them, see them, feel their presence. But people like you move in silence, you build in shadows. And when you finally step into the light, it's not for validation, it's to claim what's yours. They think you've been quiet because you're done. But you're not done. You're just getting started. And here's the best part: they'll see it before they hear it. Success has a way of showing up in places they thought they owned. Your name will be mentioned in conversations they're not invited to. Your face will appear on platforms they can't reach. Your victories will echo in spaces where their voices go unheard. It's poetic, really. The same people who tried to write you out of the story now have to watch you become the plot twist they never saw coming. You see, they thought power was about control. They thought it was about having the upper hand, calling the shots, pulling the strings. But real power doesn't beg for attention. Real power doesn't have to prove itself. It just exists. It walks into a room, and suddenly everything shifts. That's you now. You're no longer asking for permission, for approval, or for validation. You don't have to. Every move you make says it all. But let's be clear, this isn't about them anymore. It never really was. They were just the spark. But you are the fire. This is about becoming untouchable. It's about becoming so sharp, so focused, so relentless, that even if they tried to stop you now, they'd fail before they started. No, you're not chasing them. You're chasing your destiny. Every milestone, every achievement, every level you break through isn't just proof that you made it. It's a reminder that you were never the one to bet against. And while they're still playing checkers, you've been playing chess. Piece by piece by piece, move by move, you've been positioning yourself in ways they'll never understand. They think it's sudden. They think you came out of nowhere. But you didn't. You were there the whole time, watching, learning, adapting. Every loss, every betrayal was just another piece of the blueprint. Now you've got the whole board in checkmate, and they're still trying to figure out where they went wrong. But here's the real twist: you don't need revenge. Not anymore. Because revenge is for people still trapped in the past. You're not there. You're too busy building the future. Success isn't about making them regret what they did. It's about making you proud of what you did. And when you look around at the life you're creating, the person you've become, the power you now wield, that's when you realize they never had power over you at all. They were just a footnote in a story that was always yours. Look at you now. You're not just winning, you're rewriting the rules of the game. You're not just playing to win anymore. You're playing to dominate. Not because you need to prove anything to them, but because you owe it to yourself. Every version of you that cried, that doubted, that wanted to quit, this is for them. Every younger version of you that didn't think they were strong enough, brave enough, or worthy enough, this is for them. They'll never understand it. How could they? They've never had to claw their way out of darkness. They've never had to rebuild themselves from rubble. They've never had to face themselves in the mirror and decide, this isn't where my story ends. But you did. That's why they'll never be able to keep up with you. That's why they'll watch you from the sidelines while you play a game they'll never be invited to. They'll try to catch up, but you'll be too far ahead. They'll try to copy your moves, but they'll never have the blueprint. Why? Because they didn't survive what you survived. You are a storm now, not a drizzle, not a warning. A full force, unstoppable storm. The kind that clears paths, breaks chains, and drowns doubt. You're not here to fit in. You're here to take over. They'll hear the thunder before they see the lightning, and by the time they realize it's you, it'll be too late. You've already done what they said you couldn't do. And now, you're doing what they never imagined possible. But don't stop here. Don't settle. You didn't come this far to only come this far. You're past survival mode now. This is empire building season. Every step you take, every goal you crush, every inch of ground you claim is part of something bigger. You're not here for temporary wins, you're here for legacy. Legacy isn't built on revenge. It's built on purpose. It's built on impact. It's built on knowing that no matter who doubted you, you never doubted yourself. And that's what will haunt them forever. Not your success, but the realization that they never had the power to stop you. They thought they could control your path, your pace, your potential. But all they did was give you reasons to go harder. Their betrayal wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Every win you claim now isn't just a victory for you, it's a reminder for them. A reminder that the person they tried to break is the same person they now have to watch rise. They'll see you on stages they'll never stand on. They'll hear your name in rooms they'll never enter. They'll watch you live a life they told you was impossible. And every time they do, that familiar feeling will creep in: regret. Regret for doubting you. Regret for crossing you. Regret for not realizing that the person they underestimated was the same person who would leave them behind. But you won't even notice them anymore. Why would you? You're too busy building, too busy winning, too busy creating a legacy so powerful, so undeniable that their opinions, their betrayal, their doubts, none of it matters anymore. You're untouchable now, not because they couldn't reach you, but because you elevated beyond them. So keep going, keep building, keep winning. Not for them, for you. Not for their regret, for your future. Every battle you fought, every scar you wear, every loss you endured has led you here. You didn't just rise. You ascended. They thought they'd see your end. Instead, they're witnessing your beginning. And the best part, there's nothing they can do to stop it. Not now, not ever.